1 second quicker. These are the rumours and speculation which has begun to come out from the Italian press in the last week regarding Ferrari's 2023 Challenger, with wind tunnel data suggesting that this team has found a massive gain in the winter off-season. Now, if this is true, just where has the team exactly found over a second in the off-season? And more importantly, can we believe this news that is being reported? Ferrari drivers Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz have begun what is being described as an intense simulation by the two over at Maranello, and have been doing so for some time now, with highly qualified sources revealing that the 23 car is over a second faster than last year's machine. Now, one thing I would note from this statement is where have they taken into consideration the rule changes between 2022 and 2023 surrounding the floor, with the aim of it eradicating the porpoising once and for all. Now, interestingly enough, the teams are reportedly supposed to lose between 15 to 20 points of downforce, which would equate to half a second in lap time. So that is a massive chunk of lap time to be lost. Now, putting those two pieces of information together, are we talking about an actual second of lap time gains before or after the changes to the floor? Because that has yet to be determined and stated, and it is an important piece of information to note. Let me know in the comments down below what you believe Ferrari have found over this winter period. Do you think it's a second? Do you think it will be half a second? And do you think this piece of rumours and reporting is taken into consideration the fact of these floor changes? With pre-season testing, as well as the start of the 2023 season fast approaching, we really don't have much time to wait until we see whether this is truth or the usual Italian press hyping up the Ferrari team in the off-season. Now, going off of 2022's pre-season, where most of which was reported turned out to be correct, I am going to make the assumption and believe that this latest piece of news is in fact truthful and they have found this 1 second. Hell, I would even love it to be even more than 1 second, as I believe they're going to need it to match the likes of Red Bull in particular, as well as, of course, Mercedes, who I expect to take a giant leap forward, if not at the beginning of the season, at the first 5 to 7 races. But where exactly will these gains have been made on the 23 Challenger? Will it be in the fast, sweeping, high change of direction corners? Or perhaps in the low speed corners where you need a pointy front end to get a good rotation through them? Or is it that in-between medium speed? Well, the answer is a mixture of both low and medium speed corners, with teams using softer setups to understand the car's behaviour on different track surfaces, which are currently being analysed in the simulators. Another factor at play is the already mentioned technical changes to the floor to reduce porpoising significantly. According to some engineers, the phenomenon slowed cars down last season by around 0.7 of a second, particularly at the beginning of the year. So, as a result of all these changes, cars will naturally be exiting corners faster and therefore the need to have greater stopping power in the brakes. Manufacturers will be increasing braking torque by almost 5% to combat this increase in speed for this year. One other thing to note with regards to cars finding lap time is, of course, one of the most important things being that of the Pirelli tyres, with the manufacturer having designed the construction slightly different from that of last year, particularly the front tyres. This new construction is aimed at reducing the somewhat chronic understeer that was inherent across all of the cars last year. So this should benefit both Max and Charles as well. And you could also add Lewis into that because he's someone that, historically has loved a pointy front end. Although he's gotten to the point in his career and experience, he can manage both understeer and oversteer. But what is really important for Ferrari isn't how they start, it is how they finish. Because we know they cannot do in-season development at the same rate that the likes of Red Bull, and you'd have to say in particular Mercedes could. Because Mercedes' car at the beginning of last season was so far off the pace, but by the time of the last couple of races they were there or thereabouts within the ballpark with Red Bull, and they of course went on to win in Brazil with George Russell taking both victory in Saturday's sprint as well as the main race on Sunday. So for me, it is much more important that they give themselves a platform where they can continuously develop throughout the entirety of the season, which is something they did not afford themselves, or rather the development path they went down early on in 2022 led them down a path where they had less and less avenues to go down, and then they had to stop development pretty early on because they couldn't fix the issues that they needed to, and then they've decided obviously through that to make sure that they start 2023 off strongly, which kind of seems similar to the route they took with 2021 going into 2022. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how Ferrari handle in-season development, and that is what's going to make or break their season. And of course, as we all know, we cannot forget the pit wall. What the pit wall does during races, basically. Their decision making, because that's going to be so important for them. Because even if they had a car capable of running every race last year, Red Bull still would have run both championships. Because of the fact that race team, the pit wall itself is miles ahead of Ferrari. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give this video a like and do subscribe, as I will be doing loads more Formula 1 videos throughout the upcoming pre-season testing and of course during the 2023 season. Alright guys, I am out. Catch you later.